Linda Sheldon Fell, and I am the creator of Grief Diaries, a book series focused on exploring life challenges and losses. And one of our writers lives with multiple personalities, otherwise known as dissociative identity disorder, DID. Her name is Sunshine, and she has agreed to take us inside her world of what it's like to live with DID. And so this is the first episode in a series of the Sister Diaries with Sunshine. Take a look. Hi, Sunshine. How are you today?
Good. Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, when did you first discover that you had dissociative identity disorder? Well, from here on out, we'll call it DID.
Okay. Um, I was diagnosed in 1996. That's when they really came. They formed better. They were more outwardly. Um, but throughout my childhood, I heard voices, and in the voices in my head, they were more like statements. They weren't telling me to do anything. It was like conversations going on back and forth.
Okay.
Um, I thought everyone had them. I just thought they were mine with loud thoughts. Um, and then, people in the family or around me would say I would be fine. My mood would be just great. I'd be at the beach with the kids, and all of a sudden I'd stand up and I'd say I want to go home. And it was very monotone. And they would be like, "What's the matter with you?" And I never had a clue. I didn't understand. I just thought that I had really bad mood swings. Um, And then as the years passed, I think it was when my twins were born, I thought I had um, the depression, after having birth. I forget what it's called. Um, and when I brought them home from the hospital, I found myself really depressed. I found like a lot of chatter in my head. And I actually had said at a few times, these are not my kids. And I did not know where they came from.
Okay.
So I went to the doctors, and they said, well, maybe you're suffering from postpartum depression, and they gave me some medication, and it just didn't go away. And I started waking up, like like crying would come out of my mouth, and it would be, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. Or it would be, don't look at me. And it would be in like a little girl's voice, and I wouldn't know about it. I would just know that I was seeing things like almost before you faint,
Okay.
you have a vision tunnel, and I was looking through, and then all of a sudden I would get this pain in the back of my neck, and then all of a sudden it was like a blackout. And from that point on, um, my girls or whomever was around me would tell me that someone or something came out and was speaking and they did not recognize it. So I went to a therapist and I had told her some of my history, and which included some sexual abuse, um, a lot of a bad marriage. I mean, a lot of things, eating disorders. There was a lot of things that were I was going for separately and did not ever connect them to this because I never heard of it before except for the movie Sybil. I mean, that's the only
Right.
thing I knew. So she said to me, "Why don't you? I want you to read this book, and it's called Trauma and Recovery." And I read it, and going through it, they were talking about the trauma that you can go through as a child, or like a domestic violence situation. Um, and it mentioned multiple personalities was at that time, the DID. And I went back to her and I tossed the book on her table and I said, "Is this what I have?" And she said, "Yes, and you have complex post-traumatic stress disorder." And I didn't believe it. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know that. I mean, at some point, I felt like okay, so there's a name for it, but that doesn't really help me. Um, So we started talking some more. She gave me some information on how that it was a defense mechanism
Okay.
that it happened at an early age. Trauma happened at a very young age, and my mind could not handle it. So it developed ways to cope, and it would split off. And as I know, if I have continual trauma, it will go back and research through my head, my mind, to see if it can attach it to one of the personalities.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then it creates another one.
Okay.
So as of today, I have 17 personalities.
Okay. And you've had up to 22 personalities?
No, I've had seven. No, I've had 17, 18 personalities.
Okay. Okay. And so you are actually Sunshine. You are one of the alters, correct?
Yes, I am.
And
Yes, I am.
so the host is Denise.
Yes,
And Denise does not come out very much.
no. No, that was a strange kind of thing that happened too. Was during the time that all of this came about, and I was finding out that I had DID. People would call me Denise, obviously, because that's my name, and right out of my mouth would come out, "Stop calling me that," and who says that unless that's not your name. So during sessions, I realized that it was me. Me is was what the name I used to go by, but
Okay.
it's a lot easier. Sunshine, Sunshine. A lot of people know me by that name. It was okay with me, so I just yes do Sunshine.
And so each of your alters have a different name
Yes,
and a different age.
yes,
And Sarah
yes,
is 5.
yes.
And you've got Abigail, who's 7.
Mhm.
You have Baby, who is a baby and does not talk.
Right.
You've got Laura. You've got Dale. Which ones, yeah, and you've got quite a bit more. And one of the things that I want to point out to our viewers is that you're incredibly artistic on many levels. But what's really interesting is that it's a different altar that does the drawings and a different altar that does the poems. I mean, your altars are incredibly gifted, astoundingly so. And so when one of those altars is out, let's say your altar that does the drawings,
Mhm.
which is does he have a name?
Andre.
Okay. And so when he's out, where are you?
Um, I don't know. This is something that I try to figure it out. I have other people asking my other alters where I am because they can communicate with each other.
Okay.
Uh,
When one of your altars is out, you're not sure where you're at.
no, they're pretty good. I have to say that the younger ones, Abigail and Sarah, they're ones that are usually ones that can pop out at any time. Especially if they find, they get excited about things they see or they want to tell someone. They will come right out, and as soon as they come out, it's almost like a revolving door.
Okay.
And I don't know they're coming. They're just there. And for instance, um, the other day, I was drawing. Okay, Andre was drawing, I should say, um, working on, the different pages, and all of a sudden, Sarah decided she was going to have a tea party, and this lasted for 2 hours. I wasn't aware of it until I came about. It's almost like waking up,
Okay.
and I see toys or like a tea party set on the table, and I look at the clock and realize, well, geez, where have I been for the past 2 hours? It's almost like I go to sleep,
Okay.
but it's not restful at all.
So, with that being said, have you ever found yourself waking up in a strange place that you don't know where you are?
um, not so much. Well, I've woken up in places like parking lots. I didn't know how I got there.
Okay.
I have had packages in my hand that I had bought, um, and it's not my taste. Um, there have been situations where people will say hello to me, and I have no clue who they're talking. I don't know them.
Oh, okay.
I you know. Um, so yeah, I could go to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock at night because I'm really tired, but I will wake up downstairs with cartoons on
Okay.
or drawing or if it's a time period that we call the trigger times, and that's like a reliving of flashbacks and scary things, especially with the young ones. Um, it's like there's not a sleep period. They stay awake. They're scared, um, and I find myself exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I'm feeling my emotions on top of their emotions, and for some reason, I guess I'm the host, so everything beyond me back, they know what's going on with each other. They know what's going on with me, um, but I'm not allowed in that. Now, there are times when I will say, "Oh, well, if Sarah and Abby wants to do this, then they can." And sometimes I'll get a little note. Um, Sometimes I'll just get messages from the girls or um, people that have interacted with them. But for generally, I really I don't know what's going
Okay. Okay. And so when Andre wants to draw and
on.
Sarah wants to have a tea party,
Hmm.
yeah, how do they, come to an agreement of which one gets to come out for their activity?
Well, it's really hard to try and negotiate with a 5-year-old
Yeah, fair enough.
because yeah, she is totally 5. She wants to do what she wants to do. Andre is a very gentle kind of a person. Um, there's like a calmness about him, so I don't think it really bothers him as long as it's for a certain amount of time. I know that there's other ones on the inside that are older that might say to Sarah, "Hey, look, you got to do this," or "You can't drive," or "Sunshine needs to get this done." And if she's not too, we like to use the word snarky, then she goes ahead and we make negotiations. She can come out later and talk or play or whatever.
Okay.
That way.
And so when you have to go, do you stay home most of the time or?
Yeah,
Okay. So when you have to go to like therapy appointments or doctor appointments or you have to go out of the house, which altar handles that?
I do.
Okay.
I That would be Sunshine. I am the one that takes. Now, what's strange about that is that I could be. Um, I want to say I can give you an instance for driving. Sarah can talk to the girls while I'm driving, but we told Sarah not to do that because I should have complete focus. But I can do things like um, unload the dishwasher and kind of be in my own world and not know what's going on around me, but Sarah could be having a conversation with the girls or Matt, my fiance, whatever, and I'm not aware of it. And but she's aware of what I'm doing. So it's kind of like she says sometimes, I'm coming out and I'm using Sunshine's hands, or I'm using, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. Um, it's really interesting, but hard to live with.
So who you're out most of the time, is that correct? Is
Yes.
Sarah, the 5-year-old, out the second most of the time?
Sarah and Abby come out every day.
Okay.
Uh, yes, they are total kids that want to come out and have their time. They like to watch certain TVs. They like the movies. They like to talk and play and draw. Yeah, most of the time, those are the main ones, unless, like, say, uh, there's something going on and I have to talk to the psychiatrist or insurance or something to do that's what do you what like important things. Then the smart one will come out. Now she is just named the smart one, and that's what she handles. She
Okay.
knows how to get things done,
Does she
and
have an age?
she's about 22 to 25.
Okay.
She also has an eating disorder.
Okay.
She um, she was the one that's the anorexic and bulimic.
Okay.
Um,
And you,
so,
you also have another altar that
mhm,
is a closet bulimic, and that is the mother?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And how many others have an eating disorder that you're aware of?
I'm aware of those two.
Okay.
Yes. Um, I know that there, there's a there's me or Sunshine, I should say. Sunshine, Denise, the smart one, um, and the mother. All we all kind of can interact not with each other, but we have a tendency to what the therapist had said is like it's double speak, and what it happens is like say um, the smart one is on the phone making a very important um, appointment, and one of the girls are calling from the outside, so the mom will kick in. Okay, so it'll switch. So I have an ability to switch very fast, and if you don't know me, you probably couldn't tell.
Okay.
Uh, it's the system. It's a system that takes care of what needs to be done at that specific time.
Okay. Okay. So, final question for today is you've mentioned a fiance, Matt.
Yes.
How does he handle the different altars when they come out? How is he with Sarah? How is he with Andre? And clearly you're out most of the time, so it's you that he is his fiance.
Yes.
And so how does he interact with the others?
It's amazing because it's the first time in my life, our lives, I should say, that someone has actually accepted and has not made us feel like we're burdensome or we're crazy or there's something wrong. He has a relationship with all of
Okay.
them. The two younger girls, um, Abigail and Sarah, call him Dad.
Oh,
And he it's their time. They each get some time during well, they when he comes home, they're right there to greet him. And
okay.
then they come out later on, and Sarah will sing songs, and Abigail will talk, um, and the rest of them, they all have a great relationship with him. He went for Christmas, and he bought every single one of them a gift, and it
Wow.
was it was amazing. And they have, like Dale goes out to lunch with him. Rachel will talk to him. Laura will, all the different times. And if they need to speak with him because something's going on or there's something that's bothering them, they will come out. But for sure, every single day it's going to be Sarah and Abigail. That's a given.
That's a given. Okay. Well,
Yes,
thank you so much, Sunshine, for taking us into your world and helping people understand what it's like living with DID, dissociative identity disorder. That's very courageous of you, and I look forward to doing more filming with you.
thank you, Linda.
We'll talk soon. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye.